Hi, Abhishek.
Yeah, hi Suresh. Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for asking. I'm doing good. Hope you are also doing good.
Yes, I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah. So, Abhishek, I just got your profile. This moment, I wanted to know a little introduction about your career journey and current day-to-day activities. Can you briefly explain about yourself?
Yes, myself, Manoj Bhatia. I'm having a total 4 years of experience as a SQL Database Administrator and currently working with Atos IT Software Solutions.
Mm-hmm.
And we are a team of 12 members and we are working on American Bank project and this is a 24/7 project. And coming to my roles and responsibilities, I've worked on installation of SQL services and applying the patches, and also
Mm-hmm.
doing in-place upgradation and side-by-side migration, and
Mm-hmm.
also taking the backups based on the customer requests, and also worked on DB refresh activities and fixing the orphan users, and
Mm-hmm.
also worked on creating maintenance plans like weekly maintenance plans and daily maintenance plans like DBCC check DB update statistics, weekly backups and everything. And also worked on user management like creating logins, granting the accesses and resetting the passwords as well. And also
Mm-hmm.
experienced in with alerts like disk space alerts, long running queries, and job failures as well, and
Mm-hmm.
also expertise in dealing with log file full issues, data file full issues, and TMDB issues as well. And worked on audits and also configuring change data capture. And
Mm-hmm.
coming to the high availability, I have worked on all the high availabilities like configuration of log shipping, doing the manual failover, working with tough file and work file, and
Mm-hmm.
configuration of database mirroring, and
Okay.
also worked on snapshot application and transactions application, and
Mm-hmm.
worked on troubleshooting like I worked on this latency issues on replication, always on configuration, synchronization issues, and also doing the
Okay.
patching on always on servers, cluster configuration,
Okay.
and coming to the performance tuning, I have a good experience on working on query tuning, adding the missing
Mm-hmm.
indexes, checking the execution plans, and
Mm-hmm.
identifying the critical blockings and deadlocks. And also worked on
Okay.
the tools like Database Tuning Advisor, Profiler, Activity Monitor, and Query Store as well. And also worked on security part like configuration of transparent data encryption, column level encryption, and
Mm-hmm.
also data dynamic masking.
Okay.
And coming to tickets, we have three kinds of tickets, like incident tickets, which are raised whenever the alerts are triggered, and the service requests, which are raised by the customers whenever they need any access or whenever they need any information regarding the databases. And the
Okay.
changes, like we'll be raising the changes whenever we are working on the production level changes, like standard change, normal change, and emergency changes. We also attend the CAP calls to get the approvals from the application owners, and we do the health checks for the critical servers on the regular basis.
Sounds good, man. You have ample experiences. How many years of experience you said?
I have 4 plus.
Good. So you have gained ample knowledge. It's good to hear about it.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
moving on to the technical aspects of the first line of expert as a general basic DBA. So what are the basic prerequisites you need to verify to install a simple SQL Server installation at standalone server?
First, we have to check with the compatibility. The Windows server is really compatible with the SQL Server or not. We have to check, and then
Okay.
we have to check the basic prerequisites. The two types of prerequisites we have to check: software
Okay.
prerequisites and hardware prerequisites. Coming to the
Mm-hmm.
software prerequisites, like we need this .NET framework should be installed, and some
Okay.
network routes to be allowed. And coming to
Mm-hmm.
the hardware prerequisites, we need at least 6 GB of free space available in the drive. And coming to the RAM, it is Express Edition, 512 MB RAM is enough. If it is all
Mm-hmm.
other editions, 1 GB RAM is required. If it is Microsoft recommendation is like 1 GB for Express Edition and 4 GB for all other editions. And the monitor resolution should be 800 into 600, and the clock speed should be 1.0 gigahertz, and the processor should be 64-bit and Pentium 4 above servers. I mean the
Mm-hmm.
processors. And
Okay.
coming to the installation, we have to raise a change and we need some information from the user, like what is the version we have to install, what is the edition we have to install, and what is the collation settings we have to select, what are the features we have to, select, and service accounts we need, and passwords, service accounts and passwords we need, SA passwords we need, and the drive configuration, and also the TempDB configuration. All these information we need. For that, we have some template
Mm-hmm.
be sending this template to the user. So after getting all this information, and I forgot to mention, I need the license key also. If it is a enterprise edition or a standard edition, we need a license key also. So after getting
Good,
all this
definitely.
information, we will go ahead with the installation.
Good, good. Good, Manoj. Good. Nice to hear that. And the next, moving on to the next aspects. So, what are the types of authentication mode we have in SQL Server?
We have two types of authentications, like Windows authentication and mixed mode authentication, which is contains Windows plus SQL authentication.
Good. And if we have wanted to install a SQL Server, okay, how
Mhm.
can we install a named instance? Will we able to install a SQL Server without the default instance name, or it is mandatory to install a SQL Server with default instance and then named instance?
No, we can have to install 50 instances for a machine. One is a default
Okay,
and other named instances. It's not a
good.
mandatory to install the default instance. You can directly
Mm-hmm.
go with the named instance. But if the instance name should be with the host
Mm-hmm.
name, then we can go with the default instance. If you want to give the customized name to it, then we can go with the named instance.
Thank you. Good. Uh, as a DBA, you need to take care of the backups, right? For any kind of database admin you guy. So, what is the importance of backups as a DBA perspective?
See, when we are working with the production servers, there is a high chances of getting data loss. Data is
Mhm.
corrupted sometimes because of the hardware failures. Someone is working as a freshers, they, unknowingly they can delete the data. Something happens. There is a chance of, getting data loss. So for that, to avoid that, we maintain these backups on weekly basis, daily basis, and also hourly basis, so that in case of any data loss, we can recover the data using these existing backups.
Okay. So, what are the types of backups traditionally we must recommend as a DBA to any kind of client machines?
Mm, a full backup, a differential backup, and the log backups. These are the backups we regularly use. All other ad hoc backups also there, like copy only backup, split backup, mirror backup, and tail log backup, file backup, and file group backups. There are other backups which we rarely used. Regularly,
Mhm.
we use only these three backups: full, differential, and log backups.
Fine. So let's assume a scenario situation like a full backup is happening Sunday 10 p.m. every week once, and differential backup every day except Sunday 9 p.m. And the log backup is happening every 15 minutes, right?
Okay.
So and sometime Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. in the morning, in the 7:30 a.m. in the morning, the database got corrupted, which is notified by the application team, and they wanted to recover till the pointing 7:30 a.m. Tuesday.
Mhm.
How will you recover, and what are the backups strategies you park it, and what are the restore sequence you will follow to recover till the pointing time?
Okay. So first I'll take the recent full backup, which was happened on Sunday, 9 p.m.,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll restore it with no recovery. And I'll take the
Oh, good.
recent differential backup, which was happened on Monday, 10 p.m., and I'll restore it with no recovery. And then I'll take all the log backups which are happened after the 9 p.m. Monday till Tuesday, 7:15, and I'll restore all the log backups in a serial manner with no recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll take the
Mm-hmm.
last log backup, which will happen at 7:30 a.m. Tuesday, and I'll restore it with the recovery to bring the database online.
But in my case, 7:30 it is about to progress, but it got corrupted.
Understand? So in that case, we can do one thing. Up to 7:15, we can restore all the log backups with the no recovery. And for that
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes of data, we can still take the tail log backup using continue after error keyword, and we can
Mm-hmm.
restore that in with the recovery option.
Good, good. So, what is the command you noticed a difference between normal transactional log backup and tail log backup command?
If we like in normal log backup, we won't use with no recovery option. In
Good.
tail log backup, we use with no recovery option so that the database will go into restoring mode.
Did you ever hear about with stop at?
Yes, with stop it keyword is used to do the specific point restore. If you want to
Good,
restore the database to the specific point, we can use the stop it constraint.
good, good, good. Okay, moving on to the next experts of regarding backups and restores. What are the modes of restores we have? Restoring modes.
We have three types of restores: like restore with recovery, restore with no recovery, and restore with standby.
Okay, what are those three major differences?
If you restore the database with the recovery option, the database will be online and it is accessible to the users. It will be useful
Mhm,
whenever we are having a single database backup. Comes to the restore with no recovery. If we have
mhm,
multiple database backups, then we have to use this restore with no recovery. And
mhm.
also it is not accessible to the other users whenever you are using this restore with no recovery. It means it is under restoring. It comes to this restore with standby. It's almost equal to the restore with no recovery, but still
Mhm.
users are able to read the database, but they are unable to modify the data.
Okay. In general, if you create a database, a simple database, what are the types of files will be created inside a database?
If we create a database, two files are created by default. There's a primary data file and a log file. If you want to add any other secondary data files, we can add. Otherwise, only two files will be created.
Okay, good. So coming back to the questions of where recovery models, right? So what are the types of recovery models we have?
We have three types of recovery models in SQL Server. One is simple recovery model, full recovery model, and bulk log recovery model.
So what is bulk log recovery model and difference between bulk log recovery model and simple recovery model?
Simple recovery model is the one which we are using for dev servers or testing servers because there is less maintenance for it. See, like there is a different behavior for this checkpoint and simple recovery model. So the data is continuously flowing from log file to data file, like whenever the
Mhm,
transactions are committed and whenever the data, I mean, whenever the log file is 80% full, the data is continuously truncated to a data file so that we cannot take the log backup in simple recovery model databases so that we cannot do any point in time recovery. So that's why these database we cannot use it for the production. And coming to this bulk log recovery model, we rarely using this bulk log recovery model whenever we are doing any bulk inserts or bulk updates or any huge data inserts. We change the recovery model of the database to bulk log recovery model. In this, minimally logging is happened. I mean, only minimal data which is required to do the point in time recovery, like page ID, row ID, these kind of information will directly go through the log file, and rest of the information will directly go to the data file. So through using this minimally logging, we can improve the transaction performance.
Good. So what is actually do you ever like what is BCM?
DCM is kind of a page like differential chain mapping that can store the extents which are changed after the full backup.
Okay, good, good. Moving on to the next experts, like do you have a you said experience in log shipping, right?
Yes.
So in log shipping, the setup was already set up with a standby read-only mode, and everything is looks fine. Now the customer wants to perform a DB refresh of a broad copy, which is part of log shipping DB. From he wanted to refresh the data of a prod data to test. So without disturbing the existing log shipping setup, so how will you perform a DB refresh?
For that, we have to take a full backup of full backup of the database from primary. If we take the full backup, I think it will break the LSN because already automatic backups are happening, so that we can take the
Yeah.
copy only backup on the primary side,
Mm-hmm.
and we can restore it on the secondary with recovery. But before that, we have to take the login script from the secondary server, and we have to
Mm-hmm.
take a backup of login script, and then we have to restore it with the replace
Mm-hmm.
and with replace and with replace and with no recovery, because it is, since it is in a log shipping, we have to restore with replace and with no recovery, and after successful restoration we have to execute the backup script to replicate the same logins. I think I never done it in the production because we're not using in log shipping, but I think this is the process.
Okay, good. Good to know it. And moving on to the next aspects, where in log shipping, there is a major thing called a tough file. So, what is the basic usage of tough file in log shipping?
Transaction undo file will be created whenever we configure the log shipping with standby mode. It, the main usage is like it holds the uncommitted transactions. Whenever the uncommitted transactions are trying to replicate to the secondary, there is a chance of getting dirty reads. So to avoid these dirty reads, it holds these all uncommitted transactions. And whenever these uncommitted transactions are committed or rolled back on the primary side, then only these transactions will be replicated to secondary. Its main purpose is to avoid the dirty reads.
Good, good, good. So, okay. Okay, so, and quite last question is part of log shipping. If you wanted to add a new data file to the existing database of a primary replica, I mean a primary server. So obviously it couldn't disturb the secondary. So right. So in this situation, the customer wanted to add a new data file to the existing log shipping database. So how will you perform the activity on this requirement?
See, it's yeah, we can directly add the data file to the primary side. It will automatically add it to the secondary side, but there is a prerequisites here. The data file and log file path should be same in the primary and the secondary side. If the path is same, then if you add the data file on the primary side, it will add directly to the secondary side. If the paths are different, there is another option. We have to do the manual sync after adding the data file. We have to take the manual full and log backup, and we have to restore them. I mean, not full, I guess. Only we can take the log backup and we can restore it on secondary with move option.
Okay. Okay, good to know it. Sounds good, man. And moving on to the next experts, do you have experience in DB metry?
Yes.
So, I have a database which is already part of log shipping. I wanted to set it up the database for DB mirroring. Is it possible to configure one database to multiple hierarchy concepts?
Haven't done it, but as by my knowledge, a single database cannot be a part of mirroring and the log shipping.
Good.
Not sure, I
Okay,
guess.
What is the major difference between log shipping and mirroring?
Major difference is like the log shipping doesn't have the automatic failover option, and the database mirroring have the automatic failover. And log shipping, we can configure one primary and multiple secondaries. And coming to the mirroring, we can have only one primary, one secondary. And log shipping, we can read the databases from the secondary. In mirroring, we cannot read the database from the secondary.
Log shipping also we can read no using standby mode.
Yes, yes, I'm saying like sorry, just confused.
Yeah.
In log shipping, we can read the database from the secondary. In mirroring, we cannot read the database from the secondary.
Okay. So to overcome this approach to in mirroring, what is the new concept? Hierarchy concept is introduced, I believe, always on, right? So in always on, is it possible to perform backups at secondary replica?
Yes, yeah. Unlike all other high availabilities, we can take the backups from the secondary and always on using backup preference. We have some backup preference options. If we can select prefer secondary, so backups will directly go to the secondary first. If the secondaries are not available, then the backups will go to this primary.
What type of backups?
Full and copy only log backups will be happening, or sorry, only full and copy only log backups will be happening on the secondary.
No, the
Differential.
backup preference settings are referring to log backups, right? Okay. And then priority, whatever you said, it will perform at the secondary. We can perform only copy only backup and uh, normal full backups.
Even though if we configure the backups as a prefer secondary,
Mm.
only a few backups will happen on the secondary. Like, I
That's
mean,
what type of backup will, if you set the backup preference settings, what type of backups will it route?
I guess only full and copy only log backups. Remaining differential and log backups have to be happen on the primary side itself.
Okay, good, no problem. Moving on to the next expert. So have you heard the SQL port number, which is 1433, right?
Yes.
What is 1434? Port is using for by default.
1434 is the default port number for SQL Server browser service.
Exactly. What is the main usage of SQL browser?
If you're working with SQL Server named instances, if other users are trying to connect the SQL servers when they are in remote, then they are connected through TCP IP, the browser services should be enabled.
Good to hear. Thank you. And do you have experience in performance tuning?
Yes.
What is the major critical issue you fixed at performance level at your environment? Let me put you in different way. Like one of the store procedure was executing last week was in seconds. The same procedure got taking 30 minutes time. So application team approaches you wanted to, hey man, and the store project is taking so long as than expected. So how will you start troubleshooting the scenario?
See, I mean, the reasons behind that are like um, different. Like maybe the patching happened, maybe server is upgraded from previous version to new version. The reasons are different, but the reality is like we have to check why the query is running slow. We have to check one by one. First, we have to check the basic troubleshooting is like any blockings are happening and the status of the query. What is the status of the query? It is running or runnable or suspended or sleeping. We have to check the status of the query and how much CPU time it is taking and what are the 10 db allocations. So all these things we have to check to understand the status of the query. And after that we have to check the execution plans. So we have different execution plans like display estimated execution plan and include actual execution plan and also live query statistics. See, if you're I mean, allowed to run the query, then we can use the include actual execution plan so that we can get an accurate plan. If you are not allowed to run the query, since it is already running slow, we can use this display estimated execution plan that will show you the estimated plan. In that we can see that it will give you some suggestions like is there any missing indexes are there, like how the query is running, is it is taking a table scan or index scan or index seek. If we can see in any index scan or table scan or key lookups, we have to eliminate these parameters from this plan because these are the things can degrade the performance of the SQL server actually. So that's why we to remove these things we have to add indexes. So we have two kinds of indexes. We have cluster index and non-cluster index. So cluster index we have to add on the columns where we are having the unique keys like unique columns, and non-cluster index we have to apply where we are using the where condition and where we are using in the joins. These are situations we can apply non-cluster index. So index optimization, will improve the SQL performance. And adding to that, we have other parameters as well. We have to check the fragmentation also. If any fragmented tables involved in the store procedure, we have to identify those tables and we have to check the fragmentation of the particular tables. If possible, we can run this DB reorganize index and rebuild index jobs to eliminate this fragmentation. That is also one thing we have to take care. And coming to this memory part, we have to check the max memory is good or not. It should be 75% of the total RAM. And the parallel processing is happening or not. That also we have to check by checking the
Okay.
max DOP value. If the max
Mhm.
DOP value is zero, then good, the parallel processing is happening. If not, we have to change the value to zero. And it is
What
depend.
is the max DOP value is zero, meaning? What do you mean max DOP value is zero?
It defines the number of cores that are using for the execution. If the max DOP value is set to 2, that means even though the CPU having multiple CPU cores, it is just using only 2 CPU cores and rest of the CPU cores are sitting idle and
Hmm.
not using the benefit of it. If we
Okay.
put the value as a 0, it will use all
Mm-hmm.
the CPU cores based on the query complexity. Like, see, it depends on cost threshold parallelism value actually. The cost threshold parallelism value is 5 seconds. And in the initial stage, it will take only one CPU core to execute the query. After 5 seconds, it will add another one. After 5 seconds, it will add another CPU core. It will keep on adding the maximum CPU cores to execute the query. I think 0 is the best one.
Which means unlimited.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It was nice interaction with you, and it is good to know. And do you have any questions with me?
No, I'm good actually. I'm good. I don't have any questions. And thanks for your time. Thanks for your valuable time actually.
No problem, Manoj. It was very nice talking to you. And I hope I'll share my feedback with my technical HR. So definitely we'll have one more round, which is final, and all the best.
Thank you so much, Suresh. Thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good
Bye.
day.